Hello and welcome to Autocar Professionals. Mercedes India has launched S-Class as a plug-in hybrid. And to talk more about it, I have Mr. Santosh Iyer. Thank you so
Thanks,
much, Mr.
Mugdha, for
Iyer.
joining us.
Thank you for talking to us. First question, why the decision of bringing the plug-in hybrid first?
See, I always say this is like looking at half glass full or half glass empty. When you look at our top-end vehicle, almost one-third of the cars we sell are top-end cars. 20, we have a 20% share of EVs in the top-end segment. But that's great to say. But on the other side, 80% of consumers are not still shifting to electrified powertrains. And if you talk to them, the issues are the same: range anxiety, charging, residual values. So, from a bridging perspective, if you want to decarbonize, we thought that the plug-in hybrid will be a great solution for these S-Class customers. You have the best car in the world. You put a plug-in ecosystem there, 100 kilometers of pure EV drive, and then you have a combustion engine to back up. So, it was only logical for us to get the powertrain on an S-Class because it just meets all the customer expectations, and then we can accelerate faster towards electrification as well.
But after the plug-in hybrid, you will eventually get the other powertrains as well, including ICE.
Yes, for sure. That's clear because we always said that we will have an agnostic strategy. Let the customer decide. We have EVs, we have clean diesels, gasoline, and of course now PHEV as well. So let the customer make the choice. For us, we are not all in on one. Of course, we want to decarbonize. We are fully committed to electrification. But then let the customer decide the pace of transformation.
And this is coming as CBU,
Yes.
But you have localized S-Class. So then do you plan to localize this as well?
No, surely. We will localize the S-Class for sure. The reason of launching the car so soon was S-Class customers are restless. They want the car at the same time the global launch happens.
Yeah.
Even as we speak, there is no right-hand drive S-Class sales release done in the world. It's going to happen in the next couple of months. So our customers will also get this car by end of this year. But the localization will follow. Next year, we will surely localize the S-Class, and then we are still discussing the powertrain options there.
So are you saying that you will try to localize the plug-in hybrid as well?
We are still contemplating all options, I would say, at this stage.
All right. So tell me something about the market. You said that your 1/3 of your sales comes from your high-end products. Now, what's happening on the entry level? Because there the competition is getting a little intense. So how are you seeing the entry level market?
No, I think in entry level right now we have on the one side a portfolio gap. The A-Class has already lived its life, and now if you see we have a GLA which is very strong on both diesel and gasoline. But on the other side we just introduced the CLA. And which is doing extremely well. We are in fact sold out already for the year almost. You know, the earliest available is December deliveries now or for next year. So, and we are still trying to get more allocations. But I think on the entry segment, there are two phenomena. One, there is a product topic, sub 50 lakhs, do we have car lines? And on the other side, we have, deep discounting happening also with certain market phenomena happening there. So, but I think overall, the market is still the same. It's only fight for a share of pie. We have decided to not participate we keep saying value over price. If you look at the CLA also, we decided that we will price the car as good as the European pricing, but we are not going to remove content out of the car. So that's a different strategy. But I think there is space for everyone. Market is still at the 55,000 benchmark and growing slowly, single digit growth. Last quarter, we were the only brand to grow, in fact. So I think we just should not put too much emphasis on each segments and each stuff. There is space for everyone. Our growth in the top end has been phenomenal, 25% growth in quarter 1, and I think we will also release the quarter 2 numbers in July. So as of now, CLA is the focus, and in the long term, we will look at what products can come in across the portfolio.
So you said CLA is the focus, but in that entry level segment, this long wheelbase is something that is attracting the customers. Is that a strategy that you are thinking about to focus a little bit more on long wheelbase products in the entry level segment?
See, for long wheelbase, for everyone, it's an inspiration from coming out of China, right?
Yeah.
Coming from there, and then you need to have supply chain, logistics, etc. being set up. For us, we started this, right, with the E-Class, which is still today the largest selling luxury car in India. Clearly in the core segment, we dominate there, and I think it ticks all the boxes when it comes to the equipment level as well. So we are considering, but at this stage, I think the portfolio, except the E-Class, we are not considering any other lineup in the long wheelbase version.
Okay. Now on EU-FTA. have you seen customers holding back or for clarification on what's going to happen in EU-FTA, or your customers,
No, I think
because you have diverse sourcing mechanism.
so in our portfolio, only 5% is CBU. The balance are all locally produced. So in that sense, 95% of the customers don't have to worry because they are locally produced cars at localized prices. Let's look at the 5% CBUs, out of which, let's say CLA, we have already priced it irrespective of the, we are taking a hit on our bottom line and we have priced it irrespective of the FTA. EVs are anyway exempt. So I think we have been able to explain to customers and they understand. Plus the FX rate, today at 110, we are hardly priced at 100. So ideally the prices have to go up by 10 to 15%. So with the FTA, whenever it comes, maybe end of next year, the FX will mitigate any of the gains, or maybe there are one or the other gains, but then the customer has to drive the car today, own the car today, so there's no point waiting for 2 years for a 2% or a couple of percentage points price changes. So in that sense, we are not as affected. Customers have a lot of queries, but I think our dealer network is able to explain to them.
And because of this shift towards E20, and now there are conversation of higher blends as well, is there some worry in your customers, and are they now preferring EVs over, may say ICE?
No, but for us, E20, we were ahead of the curve. We were already materially compliant. Also, cars were compliant from 2020 onwards. So, if there is a regulation, we will follow what needs to be done. But I think there will be options available to the customer. The government is also quite clear that even if they go for an E85 fuel, but that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
You need a car specific to that kind of an octane rating and so on and so forth. So I think the policymakers are very well aware. We have to wait for the policy making to happen. I am damn sure that it won't be switch on that tomorrow morning onwards now only this is available. So we will observe. But if one of the hidden agenda is clear that they need to reduce dependency on fuel, and that can come via efficiency like plug-in hybrid or via blending.
Yeah.
We have already given the efficiency solution. The blending solution is for the government and for other different stakeholders to decide.
Okay. Now, last question. It looks like a slightly difficult year with so many geopolitical situations coming up. What are your expectations for growth for the segment, Indian luxury car segment, which, as you said, has been around 55,000. Actually, it hasn't touched 55,000. But do you expect it to grow, and how are you expecting Mercedes to perform?
So frankly, the geopolitical and the macroeconomic situation won't change. And if I think we have a lot of good news now today as well. But I think I firmly believe that world is highly volatile.
Yeah.
There is something else around the corner. Start of this year, therefore, our prognosis was growth, but single-digit growth, because I think overall economy is doing well. When you look at tax collections, when you look at a lot of families, aspirations are stronger. So India would grow with its own growth rate, but to expect something like a hockey stick may not happen, and that we have seen. We in the last 3 years we sold as many cars as we sold in the first 20 years in India.
Yeah.
More than 50,000 cars were sold in the last 3 years. So I think there is growth happening. We need to be patient. We need to be strategically patient for the market to develop. And if you look at the composition of the market, the average selling prices are going up. So we should not just look at the volume lens. We should also look at the revenue lens. And if you combine these two, the growth is more than double digit for all of us.
All right, Mr. Iyer, thank you so much.
Thanks
I would like to have a
joining.
longer conversation when you have more time.
Looking
Thank you
forward
so
for that.
much.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.